In this video, we're going to look at the Positions tab within the Tastyworks trading platform. Now, before we get started, there is a link in the description where you can learn about any offers that we're doing at Project Option when you open and fund an account with Tastyworks. So check that link out after this video, but for now, let's get into the content. Okay, so once you've logged into the Tastyworks trading platform, to get to the Positions tab, you're going to use this left-hand side menu here, and you're going to click the top button, which is Positions. Now, as the name suggests, Positions is going to show you all of your current portfolio positions, and you can also use these filters on the top left here to filter through the positions, which can come in handy if you have a sizable portfolio with dozens of different trades on. So since I just have two positions on here and they're both option positions, I'm just going to keep this option filter selected. But if I wanted to not see any of my option positions and I wanted to just look at stock or futures positions, I could click this options tab, and that would deselect the options filter, which would no longer display the current option positions in my portfolio. So I'm going to go ahead and enable that one more time. And on the top right here, we can see there's a group by symbol filter. So I think that's selected by default because it neatly groups your symbols. But if you deselect that, you'll see that it changes the view to show me all of the individual option components in my portfolio. So if you don't want to look at the grouped symbols and you want to look at all the different options in your portfolio, you can deselect that group by symbol button. But since I like the organized view, I'm going to enable that. Now, in regards to each position that we're seeing, we can see that next to NVIDIA it says 682, and then under last it says 264.41. So basically this is saying that NVIDIA's last stock price is $264.40. And since this is green and it says 680 on it, that means that NVIDIA shares have increased $6.80 on the day. Now, as it relates to SPY, we see a last price of $274.73, which is SPY's last traded price, and it says 116, which means SPY shares have increased $1.16 on the day. Now, if we go to the right, we can see DTE, which is days to expiration, and you actually don't see any number right here because I don't have any of the positions opened up. So to open up one of your positions, just click on the ticker related to whatever you want to open up. So if I click on NVIDIA, that's going to drop down a menu and it's going to show me all the options that I currently have on in NVIDIA. Now under DTE, we can see it says 46D, which is indicating to me that these options expire in 46 calendar days. Now if we move over to the right, we have trade price, which is the initial price that you entered the position at. We have P&L open, which shows you the current profit or loss on that position since you opened it. And then we have the mark, which is the current price of that strategy. So basically, this is saying that I initially sold these spreads for $1.15, and they're currently trading for 64 cents. And based on how many contracts I have on, that's giving me a profit of $153. Now, if we keep moving to the right, we have EXT, which is extrinsic, which is telling me that I have $195 of extrinsic value in this NVIDIA position, which basically tells me that if NVIDIA was right where it is by the time these options expired, there would be $195 of extrinsic value that would come out of these options. And since I've sold these spreads, that means I have $195 more to make on this position. Now, to the right of that, I have delta, gamma, theta, and vega, which are the option Greeks that tell you how your option position will respond to changes in the stock price, time, or implied volatility. So this is just a way you can keep track of, your portfolio sensitivity or each position's sensitivity to changes in those variables. Now this is how I've set up my columns, but you can actually customize each of the columns that you see here so you can look at whatever metrics that you look at most when you're looking at your portfolio. So to customize the columns, just go to the right hand side here and click on this gear. If you click on that, it will show you the displayed columns and it will show you not displayed columns, which is basically everything that you can choose from that I currently don't have selected. So all you have to do to actually remove or add one of these columns is click on whatever you want to see. So if I wanted to see P&L day, I could just click on P&L day and that would add it to the displayed columns that I have currently. And to change the position of that column, you can click and drag and you can put it wherever you want. So since I have P&L open already, I'm going to go ahead and put P&L day right next to P&L open. And if I click OK, now we can see the P&L day. So P&L day right here says 96 for NVIDIA and 60 for SPY, and we can also see the P&L open. So this allows you to see how your position has performed today and also since you've opened the position. But I typically just look at P&L open, so that's why I typically don't look at P&L day. But on the right hand side here, you can see all of these different metrics that you can put in your columns, and all you have to do to select those columns is either click, or you can click and drag and place it wherever you'd like. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is closing, adjusting, or analyzing positions from the Positions tab. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my NVIDIA position, which is just a short put spread that expires in 46 days. So I've initially sold this spread for $1.15, which is the trade price, and let's say I wanted to close this spread for 50% of the maximum profit. So since the maximum profit is $1.15 on this spread, a 50% profit would be achieved if the spread's value decreased by 50% from the entry price, which is right around 57.58 cents. So if I go ahead and click on both of these options in the NVIDIA position and then I right click, that's going to pull up a menu where I can do a number of different things. So if I hover over close profit percentage, this is going to show me a different target percentage that I can change based on these arrows, and it'll allow me to select a target percentage and queue up an order to close that spread at that target percentage. So if I put in 50% here and I go down to full, which is basically saying close the entire position at 50%, if I click on that, this will queue up an order to close this spread at a 50% profit target. So on the bottom here we can see it says 57 cents, which is 50% of the entry price of this NVIDIA spread that I initially sold for $1.15. So if you didn't use this feature, you would have to quickly calculate the profit target of that spread that you want to close, determine the correct price to close that spread at based on that profit target, and then you'd have to enter an order with that profit target in mind. Now with the Tastyworks platform, all you have to do is select the options you want to close, right click, go to close profit percentage, choose your profit percentage, and then click on full, and this will queue up an order for you, which you can then review and then send off. Now as you can see here, there are a number of different options you can choose from in this menu, but I'll need to do a whole nother video on all these features alone because there's a lot to talk about here. So another one I want to talk about is analysis. So if you click on the options that you want to select for the option position and click on analysis, this will bring up basically a expiration risk profile graph for the options that you've selected. So that's a quick way where I can visualize my strategy, and if I want to see what the max profit or loss potential is, I can go ahead and go to the Positions tab, right click on the options that I've selected, click Analysis, and that will open up the Analysis tab. I hope you enjoyed that overview of the Tastyworks Positions tab and you've seen some of the powerful features within it. If you want to check out some of our other videos on this channel, be sure to click on these links featured on this page right now. And once again, I'm Chris from projectoption.com, and thank you for watching.